listening to General Regwa, a young man that I've known for a few years. He looks better today than he did in the past. But really being proud of his advancement, but also being proud to know that a Pinoy did not forget who he is. A Pinoy who didn't forget his people. A Pinoy who didn't forget the history of his father, of his people, of the struggle in the Philippines. And I'm going to get a little dark right now because I think that you need to know a couple of dirty secrets about Congress. It's up there that said that the President and General MacArthur had drafted the Filipino scouts and the Commonwealth soldiers into the military. And the ones who were not part of the Commonwealth military, but the scouts and the Phil-Am vets, we promised them veterans benefits if they fought with us. They would have fought anyways, right? Because they were defending their own country. But the dirty secret is this. In 1945, 6 months after the war, Congress wrote a rescission bill, meaning a bill that cut the budget. And they cut the budget, the money that was supposed to go to the Filipino veterans. If you read that rescission bill, it should be part of our history books. Because I want people to understand, and future generations to understand, that even though this is the best country in the world, even though we have one of the best systems in the world, it doesn't mean that we should not keep our eyes on Congress and on this government, that we should always make them keep their word and their loyalty to the service people and to our veterans. We did not do that. We cut the veterans benefit 6 months after the war was over. And then a couple months later, we wrote another bill that cut further the benefits of these veterans. Shame on us. Truman signed the bill, and he said, when he signed the bill, you gotta go back and fix this. And it has not been fixed ever since. We made an attempt a few years ago. We got something for the Phil-Am vets, but not enough. And so this Congressional Gold Medal is something we have to do. We have to make sure that there's a mission accomplished, that we get the Congressional Gold Medals for them. And the hell with the price tag. Because the price tag that they paid for, you know, it's so great that the $4 million that was put out there is practically nothing. And if you've been watching the Benghazi hearings on TV, 2 hearings cost over $20 million. Now let's face it, $4 million is a drop in the bucket. So we should be filled with pride because the veterans have never ever given up their spirit and their loyalty to this country and to the service that they had performed. They never said we should have never done it. They always maintained that faith. Here's the task. I think General Regwa had put it out there for us. We have to take all those steps to make sure that the congressional members, 218 is the minimum. Let's make it 435. If we can give 100% of our own congressional promise to make sure that these veterans get the recognition that they need, and the veterans who have fought there alongside the Filipinos, because they were forgotten. When we declared war against Japan, we went to Europe first, and we told the Filipinos in the military there in the Philippines, hang on as long as you can. They ended up shooting all the ammunition up, and they ended up being prisoners of war. Therefore, the death march from Bataan started. The atrocity that was visited upon those POWs did not stop at the end of that march. They were put into death ships, standing room only, and they died standing. And and then they are sent to the camps in Japan, and they're also used as slave labor. And we fought to get compensation for them, but our government set it up so that it was virtually impossible to get that. And they say that the peace treaty that we signed with Japan forgoes almost everything. There's something wrong with the peace treaty that was signed 6 years after the war. So I think we got a lot of things to do. But let's keep focused on making sure our veterans that fought in the Philippines and the Filipino veterans get their due. We could give them nothing less. And we cannot allow this government to outlive these veterans. They must see this congressional medal in their hands, because this is the dignity and the respect and the loyalty we have to return back to them. And so we have to get organized, we have to be energized, and if it works, I'll be a little angry if it works. But all in the name of returning back to our veterans that which they deserve for such a long time. If you look at their pictures, look how young they were. And they did it for us. I would not be standing here as a congressman if it were not for them. So I know which side my toast is buttered. So I say to all of you, thank you very much. And we have some certificates here. There are certificates of recognition from Congress. But let's be real. It's only a symbol of our respect and our recognition. It's paper and it's ink. What's more important is that we remember, we will remember, and as David Silverman Chu said, we must put these things in the textbooks. The details that are not in there have to be in there for us to fully realize the full measure of payment that our veterans had given in a hellish war, and that these should be the information that we need today to make the best decision for this country when we face conflict. They made this country strong. They want this country strong enough to be able to do the right thing, to solve problems without having to shed blood, without bombs, bullets, and blood, but to use our brains and our willingness to work with each other so that we can resolve these things without shedding blood, shooting bullets, and dropping bombs on people. This should be our promise to them, so that we can wipe out the kind of prejudice that existed when Congress did this. Let's call it what it is. They were able to do this because they had a mindset about brown people. It's changed. But we cannot allow this to happen again. As David Chu said, we gotta put it in our history books, teach our young people the truth, so they do not repeat the mistakes of the past. So let me just close on a higher note. I love this country, I love our veterans. I just want to say to veterans who are here, and for veterans who have given up their lives, God bless you all. God bless today, all of you. And thank you. Thank you for the ability for us to be able to live every day. Wake up, being free, and be able to conduct ourselves the way you want us to conduct ourselves. Thank you. Well, it's a real honor for me. It's been great. The first one is for Mr. David Tejada. David, oh, here he is. See you at the coffee shop. We know because somebody else. Okay, Mr. Procuro Wala, Mr. Mickey Ganich, Mr. Guillermo Garcia. Mr. Alfonso Lamata, Mr. Armando Nansang, Mr. Oscar Leonard.
Was in the Philippines collecting information 2 years before the Japanese arrived.
Thank you for your service, man. Mr. Angel Santos Masangay, Mr. Pedro Pineda, Mr. Ramon Regalado, Mr. Januario Ruiz, Mary Terry Santos. Terry Santos.
In Cabanatuan.
Let me just close my portion of it. Thank you very much for taking the time to come here and sharing this moment with the veterans. And the veterans, thank you for sharing your memories and your experiences. And to the Cub Scouts, I hope that, and the young people, I hope that these stories remain with us so that we understand how serious and how grave a decision a country makes when they go into war.
Yes.
And that it's not one of those romantic things. Because what was shared with us today was the blood and guts and tears and things that are burned into our memories and their memories. And for them, I just want to say thank you for sharing those memories, and that, at least for this person, I will take those experiences and always use that to make the best decision for our country. So to all of you, I just want to say, salamat po, mabuhay.